Waite
Oh,
Park
wow.
up in St. Cloud. You gotta be kidding me. Bemidji,
Wait,
Virginia,
that's
Brooklyn Center's there. There you go. St. Paul's there.
Bemidji in
Wilmer
Virginia?
in like Wilmer, Faribault. You do have a lot of like affordable trailer park, but I know Wilmer specifically has issues all the time.
It's got to be crime related. Does
It
it
is,
talk
yeah.
about them and why they're the worst? Oh, there we go. So Waite Park is right outside of St. Cloud. 1 in 12 residents here was a victim of some type of reported theft in 2021. I wouldn't have guessed that. In Bemidji too. I mean, Bemidji is beautiful. What are they saying there? That's 1 in almost 13 have been robbed in 2020. So if you had 30 friends on Facebook, statistically 25 of them would have been a victim of a property crime. Meaning a robbery, car break-in, or stolen wallet. Jesus. High unemployment. Maybe that's why Virginia's on there. And income levels of 32,000. That's way below. What is that? Virginia could use a big hug right now. Crime's not the worst, but it's in the top 25. But its population has shrunk 5%. So their schools are really good, though.
Well, you know, the big thing is house values go up and down based on which mine they're opening. So you go from making no money or, you know,
cut
minimum
off.
wage to making 150,000 a year. So, you know, you jump into the mines and you're running big equipment and you're making a killing and there's great benefits, and then they shut it or they run out of the ratio or I think percentage of ore that's in the ground that, you know, it's got to be a certain potency or they don't pull it. And then now that's why everybody was excited about that new copper mine up there.
This isn't just an opinion. They're doing it based on certain factors here, it looks like. So we can't get in trouble. Brooklyn Center.
The crime rate runs at 70% above the national average. The schools in the areas are subpar, and the non-rate for a 5 to 10 on grade school. A 5 out of 10.
Is that where you went to school, Andy? Brooklyn Center?
No, I went to Park Center. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Way classier.
You're a little classier, okay.
Actually, hey, Brooklyn Center, I know a lot of great people that graduated from Brooklyn Center High School.
Yeah.
And back in the day, it was a great school, and things change, man. It's funny how crime scares good people out of areas. People put spins on it. If you can't provide a safe place for people to stay, weird. If their business gets robbed a bunch of times, they move the business. If the house gets robbed a couple of times, they move their house. People don't want to live where they're being, you know, victimized. 13% of our population suffer below the poverty line. Wow.
I think the other thing is, too, we've sold houses in all these areas, and there's really nice areas within these areas as well. Sometimes it's just a bad street or a bad block or a bad neighborhood, and then it takes the whole city down because there is some good places in all of those.
Well, good places and good people. I don't think that you can throw a blanket over the whole town and say, hey, this is the way it is, right? But on the other hand, hey, politicians, before we vote next Tuesday, pay attention to your crime rates because it makes a difference on all levels. I mean, even I had a good friend of ours that up in Forest Lake had somebody come into their garage, carjack, steal their car, get in a high-speed chase, crash a car, injured 3 people on 35E. They were let out of jail the next day into the custody of their parents, because they were 17 years old. The next day created an armed robbery. The next day. It wasn't even out 24 hours.
This is Wilmer. Poverty rate 16%. Faribault. That's surprising.
Yeah, that is really surprising.
I think a lot of this is not just crime too. It's about like, where is the city headed? You know, loss of population, opportunities.
These benefits can't save the town from becoming the number 7 most unappealing community in Minnesota. Jobs and education represent the main stumbling block. They don't have enough jobs. Yeah, I don't think I would have guessed Faribault.
Well, St. Paul's easy to pick on because it's big. That's why I picked it. Can you believe this? The crime rates in some of these cities.
70% U.S. norm. Damn. Yeah, Minneapolis, we know.
Which one is that at? 120% above the national average for crime rate.
I always make fun of Minneapolis too, but every time I've gone down, I've never felt like scared down there. I don't know. I just never.
When you and I were downtown doing the show, I never felt nervous either. I mean, even the homeless guys back then when we were there that would sit by that Catholic Charities or whatever it was, they'd say, good morning. Hey, do you have $1? And you're like, sure. You know, and they're like, oh, thank you. God bless you. And you keep walking. It wasn't crackheads walking around trying to kill you like it is now.
They were nice to us because you were throwing them hundreds. I mean, you don't have ones slicing off hundreds.
I'm sorry. Can you guys break 100? And they're like, sure. Then you know they don't need it.
You gotta whip it out and have like thousands of dollars.
That I suggest doing the sniff test. You guys have change for 100? Bonk.